Hi everybody out there in cyberspace, I'm Sharif from productionhackers.net. So today I'm going to be going over wellness, health, and success. So the first thing I want to talk about is wellness. So here we're going to be talking about imperceptible action. What I'm talking about here is your mentality, your mindset, your emotional state, and how you feel about yourself. In order to be self-aware, you might want to educate yourself. And another way you can go about it, which is very important, and the other side to it, is finding your meditative channel. So when you find your meditative channel, whether it be going for a walk or actual meditation, you need to figure out what works for you so that you can do that deeply and you're able to give some time out on your mind and to reorganize your thoughts, your feelings, and what you think about yourself. This will, in turn, recharge your spirit. You might find ways to do that through stretching or light exercise. You might be able to do something inspirational, like go for a walk or go for a hike. This in turn increases your self-awareness between the still states of your meditative channel and the inspirational states of when you get moving. Taking time out for your spirit and taking time out for your mind together engages your body's energies to be unleashed and allow that creativity to flow and for you to get going to the next level. And that, in turn, gets you inspired into action. And then you can go and get right into what you want to do and make it happen for you. The next area I want to talk about is health. So I just want to bring out a big issue here is you can't know what you don't grow. And what I mean by that is from the supermarket or from the grocery store, wherever you're getting your food from, you don't know where it's been or where it's from. Whereas if you grew your own food, you would know. So keeping that in mind, maybe you should be a little bit more careful and research a little bit more deeply about where your food is coming from and what kind of food to eat and what kind of places you should get your food from. Let's get on to the next step. Cheaper is not cheaper. Cheaper is not cheaper. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that basically, just because the food is cheaper does not mean it's going to be cheaper in the long run. In that if it degrades your health, that means it's going to cost other things like trying to fix your health and losing time and energy to be able to do the things you really want to do. That's a lot more costly than saving a couple bucks on your food. Support the right industries. Remember that whatever you buy with your money, whether it be anything, even food, is a vote as to saying, hey, I like that, I want more of that. So if you keep buying junk food, then basically you're saying, I like that, keep making more of that. If you keep buying GMO foods, you say, I like GMO foods, give me more of that. This is satisfying me. If you're buying cheaper foods all the time, then you're saying, okay, I want foods to be cheaper, right? But if you keep buying more expensive foods and higher quality foods and more natural foods and superfoods, and you know your research and where it's coming from, then what happens is you're voting those things in, and then you're making those things strong. And then the whole area of food completely changes. And that is something you can take a part in. And for your own health, for the health of the environment, and for the health of the industry. Another point about health is it's not just about food and exercise and stretching and all the kinds of things we talked about. It's also about your mind as well. You want to have a healthy mind. And how do you have a healthy mind? That happens through clarity. You got to have clarity in that mind of yours. And to get that clarity, your meditative channel can do that, a combination of the exercises that you do and the things that inspire you, and you're educating yourself, investing in yourself, and going towards the path you think is true to you. With all those things combined, you can clear your mind and know, okay, I can focus and concentrate on this because I know what I'm doing with myself prepared to win. And the final thing I want to talk about in health is also to do with other things in your life, but it's you got to train step by step. You can't try to do a full split at the beginning if your legs are stiff as hell. It doesn't make any sense. You got to go step by step. So go one step at a time and focus on the training aspect. Let's say also it's your industry, even in work. You want to be focusing on the training process, always educating yourself and always practicing at a higher and better level than ever before. You always want to do that. It's very important to do that so that you're constantly getting better and you're not focusing on the results, but rather on being better, so that whatever you do is automatically going to have better results than before because you're better than before from training yourself mentally and physically and in every way possible so that you are well-rounded and full of energy. So now the last section is success. So the first thing I want to bring up is you can't succeed through just one channel. Yeah, I know that a lot of us want to succeed through just one channel, and yes, you can build something up off of a niche, which is in a sense one channel, so I don't mean it that way, but I mean even if you're doing a niche, you still have to do multiple different things to really make it happen. Whether it be managing a team and doing some of the work yourself and some of the planning, making sure the daily operations are going correctly, making sure that you're hitting targets and optimizing to hit better targets or to improve when you don't hit targets, and constantly figuring out what you should be learning and keeping on the pulse of what's out. So the next point I wanted to bring up was selfishness and greed. They're motivators, but they don't actually sell. So a lot of people might get into business and they might grow this kind of attitude or mentality or way of looking at things, perhaps out of desperation or fear or lack of commitment or just not really doing their passion. They become selfish and greedy and think that's going to actually help them. And it feels that way because, like I said, it's a motivator. But unfortunately, it doesn't sell. They end up having a really rough time doing a legitimate business because that attitude has a hard time selling unless they become masters of masking it, which means they have to be extremely competent anyway. So either way, the selfish and greedy don't do well in sales even if they're motivated. So maybe there's another thing you can motivate yourself with instead to see if you can find a higher mission and a higher goal. Propel you to new heights. So on to what I was saying, basically it goes right into my next point. So when you have that higher purpose, you will constantly be trying to figure out what you need to do now and perhaps take a step back and say, okay, what am I doing? And what can I change in order for me to get to somewhere even higher than where I currently am? And after you get and hit that target, you finally make it there, you don't rest on your laurels, you do it again. You go to a higher level, a higher mission, a higher goal, whether it be more of the same thing that you wanted to do ultimately or getting closer to the thing you wanted to do ultimately at the beginning. You want to constantly reach that higher goal once you finish the current goal rather than ever stopping there. And doing that will make you better and better and motivate you to constantly work harder and feel that urgency to get there to the next level. Also, perhaps something that you're passionate about and it has to do with helping others, not just your own thing. Or it might be something altruistic and make you feel that if you don't do it, someone might not be helped. And if you would like to get more into it, just leave a comment with a question and I'll be happy to go more in depth. Alright, I'll catch you next time. I've been Sharif from ProductionHackers.net.